Hello friends, in our previous lecture we have completed fourth chapter of accountancy. Now we are at the fourth chapter of statistics, that is time series, and this is the last chapter for our first semester. Okay, now let us try to understand what the name of chapter is telling. As previous two chapters, linear correlation and linear regression, they were having two correlated variables and we were estimating some variables for them. Now this time series is the similar chapter of linear regression only. Now what is the basic difference? In linear regression we were having two correlated variables, in linear correlation also two correlated variables. Now in second chapter we were just learning their degree of correlation, means that is R. And in third chapter we were learning the correlation and we were estimating some independent variable for the dependent variable. So again cause effect relationship will be there. In the same way in this chapter also time series we will learn two variables, but one will be according to the base of time. In that variable time was not necessary, here time is important. So the timely data will be given and we will find the trend. Now friends, what do you mean by this trend? This word is popular within among our youngsters, among we all people, that normally we always talk that now this is the trend, now that is the trend, now trend for this is that, XYZ. If I am simply giving an example, now it is the trend for latest mobile phones or it is the trend for 5G technology. So that you are talking about technology. Now according to the clothing sense also, we were having some trend and we are again having some trend. So that trend is changing on the basis of time. So timely information is required for the change of the trend. Again, whenever we are having this timely information and we want to estimate some future data, that is possible here. So this is same as regression, and in regression we were having 4 steps for some. Here also we are having that same 4 steps. Difference is that here x variable will not be there, here t variable, time variable will be there, and y variable will be there. So we will estimate the y variable on basis of x in third chapter, on basis of time t in this chapter. Otherwise this chapter is very simple. But here we want to learn some theory part also. So writing that theory part also will take more time comparing to the previous chapter. Let us directly start now. What is new? First we are reading the introduction. On 157, two related variables are studied by different methods in statistics. A special method is applied to study the dependent variable among these related variables by taking time as independent variable. There x was independent variable, here time t is taken as independent variable. The data related to the values of the variable changing with the time are studied in economics, sociology and business statistics. For example, population of a country, agricultural production, wholesale price index, unemployment statistics, import-export information, annual production of certain factory, data from share market, bank interest rates, hourly time temperature measured in a city, etc. are presented with respect to time. These data are called time series and they are dependent on time. Yes. Now the meaning of time series is given. The statistical data collected at specific intervals of time are arranged in chronological order is called time series. See series, the meaning of series we know. Series means which is arranged according to some specific rule. In one chapter of 11th we have studied this thing. That in geometric progression, what is a series? If I am saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then that is a series because each is having difference of 1. If I am telling 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, then that is also series of all odd numbers. If I am telling 5, then 15, then 45, then that is also series, it is multiplied by 555. So series means the arrangement according to some specific rule, that can be multiplication, difference, division, etc. Here it is based on time, so it is called time series. Examples are given, not required. What is the importance of this time series? On page number 159 it is given. The information collected in form of time series is extremely essential in modern era due to increasing uncertainties in trade and business activities. The study of this time series gains importance due to following reasons. What is this actually importance? Number one, the direction and pattern of variation in the values of series can be known from the past data. See, in business this thing is very important for this teji mandi. What we say in our regional language, that is teji and mandi, that is inflation and deflation, or boom or recession. That at some specific year or specific months there is always recession, always there is mandi. Prices are again from up, they are moving again down. Then at some point of stage always it will be boom, or we say it as teji, inflation, increasing price. So graph will move from downwards to upwards. So that is a business cycle, that is according to economics, but I am relating that topic with here. So here also same thing is telling that if we want to estimate the teji or mandi, that is boom or recession, we have to see the past data. On the basis of that past data, now we can estimate that okay, now for some period of time there will be always teji or there will be always mandi in our market. The variations in the future can be estimated from extent of variation in the values of time series. Important decisions can be taken on estimated values of future, and industrial as well as government policies can be framed. These see all are of general knowledge, will not be asked in exam, but simply we have to see what is the importance. Two or more industrialist or government institution can make a comparative study from the data of time, that we know. Now what is the exact definition? A time series is a set of observations taken at specific time periods. And as you can see, one format, time t and variable y is given on the basis. Now what is this use of time series? Directly we are seeing the points. To identify the various factors affecting variables of time series, to segregate these factors means to understand the factors and determine the extent effect of each factor on given variable. The analysis done in this way are as follows. It is possible to know the past situation and to use it to obtain the type of measure and variation. It is possible to estimate the value of variable in future statistical methods. All these things are coming in also. This is their theory part. So estimation is possible here on basis of past variables. Proper decisions can be taken for future using the estimated values. Estimated value means that we are finding in the previous chapter y cap, that is our estimated value, in the given variable at different places. Proper decisions can be taken for the future using estimated values, and activities can be planned accordingly. Comparative study can be carried out for variations in the given variable at different places or intervals. Estimates obtained from the past data can be compared with the present values, and the reasons for discrepancies between them can be investigated. Okay, now friends, the most important topic for theory in this chapter is the next topic, components of time series. There are total 4 components and each can be asked for 2 marks. All 4 will be not asked together. That will become 8 marks question. But each will carry 2 marks. So first we are taking the understanding of these points, and then we are going to write in short. So much things is given. We have to read and understand. We saw there is a composite effect of many factors in the value of variable of time series, which brings fluctuations in the values of variable. After observing different time series, it is known that the variation in the variable exhibit at specific pattern. The time series can be decomposed in the following components on this pattern. How a trend or what is the interval of a specific thing can be known through time series. See, if I am talking about the fashion of clothes, then what fashion was before 40 to 50 years, now it is the latest trend. So the fashion of clothes changes after long time, 20 to 30 years, 40 to 50 years. See, if you see the movies of before 40 to 50 years, that is movies of 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, the fashion which was there is the current fashion, and we are telling it as a latest fashion. Actually it is not a latest fashion, it is the fashion of previous. So we can say that the fashion of clothes is a long-term component. And if we are talking about a seasonal component, suppose the demand of mangoes will always be in summer itself, not in winter, not in rainy season. So that trend will change within 1 year. But the trend of clothes will change for more than 20 to 30 years, 40 to 50 years. And if I am speaking about the business trade cycles, that is boom, recession, Between boom and recession, there are so much growth strategies and downward strategies that you are learning in economics. I don't have to more explain that, but that trend also will change in 1 to 3 years. 1 to 3 years, or maybe 5 to 10 years. But this recession or this mandi will not stay for long, or this teji also will not stay for long. Then that is again different component, means that is not so much large and not so much short. And then one more component, that is random component also we will have, which has no specific time interval. So these 4 components we are studying. The first component is long term, the second is seasonal, third is cyclical, and fourth is random. Now first, long term component or a trend. The variation seen in the variable of time series over a very long period of time is the effect of long term component or trend. Here the variation or the change you will see after a very long period of time. The variable of time series is generally found to have a continuous increase or decrease. Continuously it will be increasing or it will be decreasing. This phenomenon is due to trend. Okay, this long term component is, second name of long term component is trend. The variable of time series is generally found to have a continuous increase or decrease, and this phenomenon is due to trend. Now an example is given. Decreasing value of rupee in international market, increasing usage of mobile phones, rising population of country, decreasing death rates, etc. See, examples are not required in question, we are just trying to understand it. The intermittent short-term variations are ignored as long-term variations in the time series are studied in trend. Overall changes taking place in the variable of time series are considered here. Factors responsible for these changes produce a very slow pace of variation. Here the variation is very slow because it will take a long time. For example, number of literates are increasing in India, but this change is taking place very slowly in 60 to 70 years. Generally, the causes of such variations are changing customs in society, changing tastes and choices of people, technological changes in industry, etc. So these changes are very long changes and it will make a drastic change in the society. The trend of time series is experienced after very long time, where long time is completely relative term. An interval of 10 to 15 years is required to study the trend in agricultural yield or industrial production, whereas it may take clearly within 4 to 5 years in sale of electronic goods. Means this demand will change in 10 to 15 years for agricultural, industrial, and for technological it will take 4 to 5 years in electric goods. The trend in the series having almost continuous increase or decrease is called a linear trend, which is generally observed in the most time series. Data in economics, commerce, and trade have series in which the rate of increase or decrease of values does not remain constant. The rate of increase in the values of such series is very slow initially, which goes on increasing slowly. The values stabilize at a certain interval of time and then start decreasing gradually. The trend of time series in such a situation is called a non-linear or curvilinear. We will denote the component of trend as variable yt as capital letter T. Trend means capital letter T. First component is O. It is a long-term component, and as I have said that the change will take so much time, 60 to 70 years, 10 to 15 years, 4 to 5 years. Means one thing you can understand from here is that the changes are at very long interval. So first the short term variations here are equal. Graph will go increase slowly. At one point it will stay, and after that it will decrease, then it will not increase. So that is called a long term component or a trend. Yes. Now this is very long term component and it is known as trend and it is denoted by T, and small t is written for time for each variable. Okay, now we are seeing the short term component, that is a seasonal component. Second one, seasonal component. The variation occurring in time series variable almost regularly or a very short period of time is the effect of seasonal component. Here the changes are at very short time. The period of oscillation means from one place to another, of such variation is usually less than a year. It is necessary to record the short-term values in the time series to study these variations. It is not possible to get information about seasonal component if the yearly values of given variable are available. So here yearly values are not useful here, within the year values are possible. The seasonal component affects the time series as follows. What is the effect of this seasonal component? Two effects are given. Effect of natural factors. The variations in the values of time series occur in association with the seasons or weather fluctuations. Means here the changes are occurring or the demand is increasing or decreasing according to the seasons coming. See, the seasons will remain for normally 3 to 4 months. So after completion of a season, again the next season that demand will be there. So it will occur within 1 year. Such variations occur at regular intervals. For example, the demand of fans, coolers, ACs increases in summer, whereas the demand of woolen increases in winter. Market price reduces when the new crop is ready. Effect of man-made factors. The variations occurring regularly in less than 1 year period are caused by festivals, customs in society, habits of people. For example, purchase of ornaments increases during marriage season. Kites are demanding during Uttaraya. Number of customers increase in restaurants or theatres during weekends. Increase in purchase of clothing and gift articles during festivals. All these are showing the effect of natural man-made factors, and the previously according to the season it was natural factors, and these are man-made factors. As the period of oscillation of these types of variation is almost certain, they are called regular variations. If the time and measure of these variation are known, then the traders, producers are benefited at higher profit earned by a control over their inventory. We shall denote this short-term component by ST. Seasonal means ST. So the second component is a seasonal component. We are learning the time series, and in this time series we are learning the different types of variations. First variation is very long time. It will increase slowly at a point and then it will decrease, and this change will take nearly so much time for a long time, that is 4 to 5 years, 10 to 15 years or 60 to 70 years. Next we are talking about a very short term component, that is a seasonal component, and this seasonal component will change within a year and it will have the effect of natural and man-made factors too. Now first one was very long, second one was very short. Now the third one is not very long and not very short, means it is in between, that is cyclical component. The variations occurring in the time series variable at approximately regular intervals of more than 1 year are effects of cyclical component. See, long term is for many years, short term is within the year. Now the cyclical is more than 1 year but it is less than the trend. Variations occurring due to this component are less regular as compared to seasonal component. Period of oscillations of these variables can be 2 to 10 years or can be in specific intervals 10 to 15 years. Cyclical component is also considered as short-term component, as the time interval of variations due to this component is less than the time of whole series, which can be of 40 to 50 years or even more. Cycles of boom and recession are the examples of these variations. In the business, teji mandi, boom and recessions are the best examples of cyclical component. These cycles pass through 4 stages, namely depression, mandi, recovery, boom and recession. These variations are found in the time series of trade and financial matters such as production of an item, prices of share in market, investment. Traders can plan suitably with the help of estimate of measures of variation. This component is denoted by CT, cyclical C, and T for time. Now, the fourth one is random or irregular. First one is very long, second one is very short, third one is between both, and the fourth one is not certain, it is uncertain. The effect of irregular or random component is also seen in this variation of variable of time series in addition to approximately regular short-term components like seasonal and cyclical, which also give short-term effect. If the values of in the series change due to sudden unpredictable causes, these changes are random variations. Suppose in this 2020 Corona has came. Due to this corona, there are unpredictable and so much changes in the society and in the economy of our country and in the world. No one had predicted that this much loss we will obtain in the society. No one has predicted. So these corona variations are a random variation, because no one had predicted that this corona will stay for such a long time and it will affect the whole world. The time interval and the effect of this variation is not certain. See, when corona will go, that I cannot say, government also will not say. The variation which cannot be attributed at any of the trends, seasonal component, cyclical component, is the effect of random component. These fluctuations appear completely unexpected and are irregular. This thing is very irregular. No one can predict it. It cannot be predicted. It does not repeat regularly and cannot be controlled. Corona will not repeat now in near future. It can repeat as a next part after many years. This variation occurs due to natural disasters like earthquake, floods, or man-made predicaments like war, strike, political upheaval, and you can write corona also now. The estimates can contain error due to this component. This component is denoted by RT. Okay. The value of variable of time series YT based on time is determined by combined effect. Now whole trend of time series can be denoted by the addition of all, that is trend, seasonal, cyclical, and random, and the additive model of time series is denoted by YT is equals to TT plus ST plus CT plus RT. This all shows the total trend, total time series. Okay? Yes. So the explanation is over. After that, in page number 162, first method is given, method of determining trend. What are the methods? Graphical method, that is not in our course, and in every year also I am not teaching this because graphs are not asked. Then the second one is of method of least squares, what we are seeing in the previous chapter, and the third one is about the new method which is new for you, and this method is actually coming in the college. So there are three methods. So now we are writing the theory part. Okay, so now we are writing the theory part. So let's all write the name of chapter and writing the important theory points. Yes. So everyone in your notebooks, chapter 4. Time series. In that, meaning of time series, the statistical data collected at specific intervals of time and arranged in a chronological order. Arranged in a chronological order is called time series. Definition of time series. A time series is a set of observations taken at specified time periods. Next, components of time series. See, for 1 marks also they can ask what are the components of time series. Then just we are writing through sentence, then I will explain each component. Okay. So you have to write the answer as it is. Following are the components of time series. Number 1, long-term component or trend, you will denote by T and in small t. Then seasonal component, S capital and T will be small. Then cyclical component, C T. And fourth, random or irregular component. So this is 1 marks question. After that, now we are writing explanation for each, that will be of 2 marks each. Okay, so this is 1 marks question. Now long term components we are writing. See, so much thing is given in textbook. The thing what I am giving only is to be written. Okay, no other thing. Okay, now number 1. Long-term component or the variation seen in the variable of a time series over a very long period of time is the effect of long-term component or trend. The variable of time series is generally found to have a continuous increase or decrease. This phenomenon, don't think that I am writing all the things from the book. Okay, I will cut short and write. Phenomenon is due to trend, generally the causes of such variations are changing customs in society, changes in tastes and choices of people, technological changes in industry, etc. The trend of time series is experienced after a very long time is a completely relative term. An interval of 10 to 15 years is required to know the trend in agricultural yield or industrial production, whereas it may be clear within 4 to 5 years in sale of electronic goods. The trend in the seas having almost continuous increase or decrease is called linear trend, which is generally observed in most of time series. We will denote this component through ET. So friends, this is about first one, long term component or trend. I have cut short and I have written, so each and every one is required, right? See, I can give directly from the textbook underline. I am doing effort for you, so you have to use this effort. Okay? Yeah. Now second one. Seasonal component. The variation occurring in the time series variable almost regularly over a very short period of time, over a very short period of time is the effect of seasonal component. The period of oscillation, the period of oscillation of such variations, of such variations is usually less than a year. The seasonal component affects the time series, affects the time series as follows. First one, effect of natural factors. Some point of this. The variations in the values of time series, in the values of time series occur in association, with the seasons or weather fluctuations. Full stop. Such variations occur in almost regular intervals. Then number 2, effect of man-made factors. The variations occurring regularly in less than 1 year period, in less than 1 year period are caused by the festivals comma customs in the society, habits of people, etc. As the period of oscillation is almost certain, they are called regular variations. They are called regular variations. It is to be denoted by S. So friends, long term component or a trend and seasonal component are over. Next we are going for the cyclical component. I hope you all will write it and understand what effort I am doing for you. I can directly give that you all people write this thing, but still I am writing on the board for you. So if you are taking the benefit, then it's okay. If you are not taking the benefit, then also it's not a problem for me. Third one, cyclical component. The variations occurring in time series variable. At approximately regular intervals of more than 1 year. Of more than 1 year are effects of cyclical component. The variations occurring due to this component are less regular as compared to seasonal component. The period of oscillation of these variations can be 2 to 10 years, can be 2 to 10 years, or and the specific circumstances. It can also be 10 to 15 years. The cyclical component is also considered as short-term component. Short-term component as the time interval of variation, as the time interval of variations due to this component is less than that of the time for whole series which can be 40 to 50 years. even more. The cycles of boom and recession are examples of these variation. It is to be denoted by C. So friends, now we are left with the last component, that is the random component. Random component. The effect of irregular or random component is also seen in the variations of the variable of time series in addition to approximately regular short-term components like seasonal and cyclical. Which also give short-term effect. If the values in the series change due to sudden and unpredictable causes, the changes are called random variation. Changes are called random variations. The time interval and effect. The time interval and effect of this variation is not certain. The variation which cannot be attributed, to any of the trend, is the effect of this random component. I am changing the sentence, okay, by myself. These fluctuations appear. These fluctuations appear completely unexpected. Completely unexpected and are irregular. And are irregular. Full stop. It cannot be predicted. It does not repeat regularly. Does not repeat regularly and cannot be confirmed. It is to be denoted by RT. Then next topic, additive model of time series. Additive model of time series. Yt is equals to Pt plus St plus Ct plus Rt. Sum of all the components. So friends, these were the 4 components and this is the additive model. Still next, okay, I'll write here itself. Next is the topic. Methods of determining trend. As in every chapter we are learning different methods. Which are the methods which we will use here? In second chapter also there are 3 methods, third chapter only 1 method, and this chapter, okay, formulas are different, but which are the methods we are using you should know. Methods of determining trend. Names you should know, okay. If it is not in course, then also your name should be known. Graphical method, method of least squares, and method of, what was the name? Moving averages. Method of moving averages. So friends, this is our theory part where everything we have completed. So I have written these 4 components for you people. See, you all will think that sir will underline and will send the photos, then also it was possible to write. But this was specially for you students. Reason is simple. If I am sending the lecture today and you are not seeing it today and you are seeing it after some days, then if I am sending the photos today, then I cannot send daily the photos. Still you all people will write. But if it is in our lecture, if it is in our video, then at any time you see, any time you write, you have not required any other photos if what I need to send. So I have written these 4 components. I hope you understand my hard work for you people. I hope you understand. Don't thank me for this hard work. That school will thank me. But I require only that you people understand the things properly, write properly the notes, because these things are very useful in your exam. So tomorrow onwards we are starting with the second method of least squares. First method is not in our course, and in this method also there are 3 methods, but only one method is excluded. Other 2 are required. So tomorrow we will start with this method. So that's all for today. Thank you so much.